city, baby.
All right, man. It's been a lot of movement.
Where?
God,
really?
Dog.
Yeah.
Well, you say not really? That's my dog.
It's been a little bit of movement. I mean, Dalton Schultz. We call it. That's a movement for you. Witness.
We going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, we got witnessed.
Yeah.
I ain't hating on you, Schultz. Get your money, dog. I ain't hating on you, but I'm not jumping up and down like we got Schultz back. I mean, I no hate though. It's like almost like people say you hating like because you ain't getting excited. I can't get excited. Like I like what he did.
Right.
But I know there's dynamic out there.
Right.
I know there's dynamic out there. Dallas don't. Do we ever want dynamic? When's the last time we had a fast tight end that could catch?
Jarwin.
Never.
I thought it was Jarwin.
Yeah.
I can't even count him because he ain't played. Give me somebody who been with a tight end that has some speed with us besides Jarwin because he ain't been playing.
Bennett, baby.
Oh, see, Lord.
I was gonna say Bennett, but I was like, he's the only one, and he ain't get the ball
until he went to what was it, Green? Well, he went to the Patriots, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was all got pro. That chip from the Patriots.
He went didn't he go to the Giants and turn up a little bit too?
Giants, but no, he kind of. When we played
really
him, I was
turned
like,
up.
Yeah, he had the dropsies. I said, yeah, at least save face.
Okay.
Normally, when players go to other teams, they go to the Super Bowl.
Right. That's why I said if we let go of a couple other guys, they might go to the chip.
I'll never forget, man. People were hating on Chris Canty. That was a long time.
I mean, I was hyped when we got him from Virginia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he played with. I loved his face mask because he had that visor and he had all them daggone bars around it. I love Kenny, 6'7", and they didn't appreciate him. He went right to the Giants and turned all. Hey, why did they appreciate him? Why? He was good with us. What they expect? He got hit. He was only playing with one eye. Remember?
Yup.
That's why he wore the visor because he got poked in his eye. That's why they were saying he dropped in the draft.
Still.
What's up, baby? They need to re-sign Steele if they're gonna get. If y'all got some money, go ahead and re-sign Steele now.
Yeah, I love what you said. You don't mind them cutting players as long as they bring back some quality. If you're gonna get rid of bring back. If you're gonna get rid of talent, good talent, bring back good talent. That's all I'm saying. Don't come back and say, "Oh, we re-signed Dorrance Armstrong Jr." and that ain't no slide to Dorrance Armstrong Jr. That's no slide to him. He had a career year, 5 sacks he played, and we remember Law. We talked about him 2018. We was wanting him to take that next step, and he didn't. So we can't get mad. But really, I know there's some other people out there, dog. Yeah. They said Bennett went to the Bears and the Patriots. Yeah. Watch how that beat come in.
You know, this part tradition right here.
Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, I've been really in the field, lot of rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Count that too, kinda.
That's intro.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside.
Come on.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game. I'm with A, yeah, I'm with T, like I'm with Rabbit now. I'm with A, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, I switch your sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's what rolling me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna
run it up, boss.
That's the best intro, bar none, not close. I don't care what nobody tell me. That is the best intro in the underground, the upper ground, the side ground, the heavenly grounds. This is the best intro, period, point blank. When you hear it, you get chills. You want to sing it. You want to move. You want to do it gets you in every mood, period.
Point blank.
Man, no doubt. Yeah, man, it's been a lot of movement, big dog. Ooh-wee.
Yoga
Really.
fire. Yoga plane.
But you know the sad part? You know what I was thinking, bro? Just keeping it real. Keeping it real.
What? Keep it
Think
real.
about it. I want y'all to really think about it.
We think.
At the end of the year, we all finally agreed on Game Changer, bro. We
Oh
did.
my God.
And those are the guys. Those are the guys, bro.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
We finally agreed on Game Changer, bro.
Game changer.
I was thinking about this, bro.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. This dude is destroying the horse. He ain't beat the horse. That horse has been in the grave, stomped on 72 times.
No.
He is the-
I've moved on. I'm saying that we've agreed on it, right?
Yeah,
So we
for
agreed
sure.
on the game change at the end of the season because I took an L.
Yes, sir.
Because remember, I picked Gregory, and the game changer ended up being Tank, right? Then the OCU finally came around that the game changer was Cooper. We all finally agreed. Everybody took an L equally, right?
Right.
No.
Once we all agreed,
I had Law as my game changer and Cooper as my
No,
game
you
changer.
no.
oh, know
you-
about
you-
that, big dog.
No,
Hold on,
you
bro.
took an L. You took
Rewind
an
the
L.
tape. I cannot
Cause
believe
you,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna no,
cannot
hold up. Before we
believe it.
go any further, I'm about to bust you out, Law, because you said, "Oh, okay, you know what, OC and Big Game, you right, CD a game changer. We can rewind the tape, can we,
But
OC?"
rewind
He
the
said,
tape.
"You right, Big Game." Oh, hey, let me talk. Let me talk. Let me
Nah,
talk.
Law was a Team Cooper. He was Team Cooper.
No, it wasn't. He
Yes,
switched
no,
over
it
and
was.
said,
No, he was
yes,
Team
he
Cooper.
did.
I'm
Chris
certain.
said, OC,
Day one.
OC.
And without
OC.
blinking. Yeah, no, he
OC
went
back
hard for
me up.
Cooper, dog.
We'll see.
He didn't let up.
Did he? He said it on tape, and he said,
For that
I
one
admit,
game.
CD
for that
Lamb.
Patriots game.
It don't matter. You said it.
He switched. He switched.
I said for that
Oh, there you
Patriots
go.
game.
You wasn't.
But then
You
I
didn't
gave
dig
it
in the
back.
ground.
Remember,
I'm staying with
I
Cooper the whole
I
time.
gave it
You
back to
did
Cooper
not.
in that Minnesota
You
game.
did not.
Then I
You
Jerry
did
Jones in that
not.
Minnesota game is how Jerry Jones said
I
gave
don't
it back
care
to Cooper.
what you are telling me. We got it on tape, and we got the look on tape. We got it on tape. No, you don't get that. You get it too. You got the gas face.
Hey, look,
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm getting people in the chat saying Bobby Wagner was released. So it looked like
Yeah, we've been
obviously-
hearing that.
That's
Yeah,
just
so
a
what's y'all thoughts on that?
6 million. 6 million. I'm saying, if you ain't taking 6 million, no, he ain't coming here.
he ain't coming
Oh,
here.
right. Oh, yeah.
Maybe
we
he
like
might
our guys.
squeeze 8. If I'm saying if they let go of D-Law or something like that happens, maybe he can squeeze 8. But you know it ain't going higher than that.
The Cowboys will
yeah.
sign Anthony Hitchens over Bobby Kaepernick. Not
You
Bobby
right.
Kaepernick, Bobby
I
Wagner. I
agree.
meant to say. They would
I
literally
agree.
sign Anthony Hitchens before
they will.
Bobby.
And they will say we're good.
We good. We like our guys. Oh, you want a lot of
Hitch won a Super Bowl. Hitch won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what they're
'cause
going
I
to
don't
tell
even
you.
want to
Yeah,
judge
that's what
Hitchens yet until I really go check him out. I haven't checked him out in a minute. Anybody really checked him out? For real?
Now, from what I heard in the streets, so I ain't checked him
Yeah,
out.
let's
But from
talk
what I
street
heard
talk.
in the streets, he ain't Hitch when we had Hitch.
Yeah, because he was banging.
Feel me?
Yeah, he was banging. So look, we can look. I'm gonna go and kick it off, bro. I'm gonna kick it off.
All right, go ahead.
We gonna
Kick
come
it
off the top turnbuckle. All right, here we go.
All right. Yep.
So y'all know how we do. So it started off. Everybody knew that does this for any little amount of time that the Cowboys got a clear pattern, right? So we see the pattern. It's always happening the same way. Whenever they start restructuring players, they getting ready to sign somebody fast. So then stuff start coming down the pipe, right? So we saw Dalton Schultz get tagged. Let's start with that. Let's just start off the top.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Big?
Well, there's one thought right there just came out. I mean, listen, listen to me, Dalton Schultz. I know you quick to block people, so don't block me because you be blocking them quickly. If somebody say something about Dalton Schultz, blocking's coming. He will block you. He don't play around. He will block you. He ain't listening to none of that out there in them streets. So be careful what you say about Dalton Schultz. I'm gonna tread lightly so I don't get blocked. I ain't following you no way, but you could block me. But
I ain't following them either.
That
right, you feel me?
No hate, but I ain't followed them.
I ain't no hate, no following though.
Yeah,
but
no
I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? He came in, had 2 good seasons, y'all. I'm gonna give him his props on that. 2 good seasons. I didn't think it was gonna come like that because in 2019 he had 1 whole catch, and I was thinking this could be a bust. Another wasted tight end that Dallas is known to waste tight end draft picks, especially when Wagner's been there, right?
Right.
So, hey, he was a godsend when Jarwin went down with the injury. He's been a security blanket for Dak the last couple of years. But to me, he's not like a game-changing tight end. He's a good tight end. You feel me? He's he can catch the ball. He got a little wiggle to him. Yes, we talked about the blocking, but definitely has to get better at that. We saw toward the end of the year it was kind of atrocious at the end of the year. But I mean, I don't know. It's the Cowboy way. We were talking off air before we came on, so it's not like I'm surprised. I mean, and I'm not. Please understand how I say this, but he's the good old boy. They like him. When Dallas like you, and you say the right things and do the right things in Dallas, gonna get you a deal. And I think this is one of the instances right here. And they're waiting on this little production. I don't know why they tagged him. Is this market that crazy that you got to tag him? That's the only thing that kind of threw me off. Like, Dalton Schultz got a market like that you got to jump and tag him? Because, I mean, there's other guys out there. And we seen, you said it yourself, boss. You kind of like this tight end class. You could get a slippy guy in one of these rounds. You feel me? We know about Blake Jarwin, but you still I like that Sean McKeon kid. I had been talking about him for a while from Michigan, and he was a blocking tight end specifically at Michigan. You feel me? And he just started getting them hands. So it is what it is, fellas. It's the Cowboy way.
Cowboy way. Cowboy way, fam. This is how it is. The OC.
Yeah, man. So look, guys, I mean, here's the deal. Here's the thing, man. To me, we can't be mad at Schultz for doing his job, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. He was productive. He didn't determine the amount of targets that they gave him. They gave him a bunch of targets because that's how the offense was set up, and that's what, they end up doing. So in light of doing what they asked him to do, he did a good job. Kudos to him for getting the contract and getting the $10.9 million, or let's just say $11 million for conversation's sake. To me, I'm not upset about this because this was the best possible scenario in terms of them retaining his services. It's not a long-term deal. They didn't commit any more than this 1-year deal for around $11 million. So we know he's a favorite. We know it's a favoritism system on the kind of guys we like are re-signing our guys. So to me, it was the best possible scenario. Re-sign him for a year. It's not a long-term guarantee. We're renting you. We're not tying up salary cap money. So to me, I'm actually okay with it because I knew you wanted to do it anyway. That's how I feel about it.
Right, you wanted to do it anyway.
Well, reports are saying that they are signing him to this so that they can work out a long-term deal, and they may be finishing up his long-term contract by Wednesday of next week. If not, they still have the negotiation window, I think, until mid-June or something like that with the franchise tag. Yeah. So I got to go to this draft first. Like Paul's Cowboy, I know you've been doing your homework on this draft about these tight ends. So
yes,
this was my thoughts, and I could be 1,000,000% wrong, but I feel that the Cowboys should allow this guy to hit the market, let them see what he's going to get out there in the free market, and the Cowboys just sit back and wait. And that should be the same vibes that we get with even Michael Gallup. Let's not rush to sign these guys because in this particular draft, the tight end class and the wide receiver class is a big class. So I'm not sitting here rushing to sign either a wide receiver nor a tight end. Now, I get it. They by next week, by the 20th, we would know news of Amari Cooper is already written that he's going to be gone. And you want to have some level of continuity. But the problem is, Cowboy Nation, we've been down this road before of when you put somebody on a franchise tag and signing an injured player, it's doing the same thing over and over again. And somebody got the definition of that. They can put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's insanity, man. That's straight insanity. Man, I hate to do this to the big homies, bro. God, man. That boy came out there and said that's a good sign. What is wrong with the OC?
No. See,
man, what is wrong with you?
I said,
love
you
it.
putting words in my mouth. You putting words in my mouth. I didn't say it's a good signing. I said if you go keep him,
whatever
keep
you
him
said,
on a 1 year
whatever you said.
deal. I said this was the best possible scenario because you want to do it anyway. And then Law came in and said, hey, they're working on a long-term deal based on reports. That I don't agree with. That is idiotic.
This the best case scenario? Do you know the name of? Do you know what? Do you know what best means?
Yes, for what you were gonna do.
Do you know what
you
best
go
mean, bro? Do you,
I
what's
think
best?
what he's saying,
What's the definition of best?
I think what he's saying, boss, is because it's the Cowboy
I ain't
way.
breathing nothing.
And if it's since the Cowboys are doing it, this is the best option they're kind of coming with to tell y'all. At least he's a guy that's trending up. I mean, that's what the way the Cowboys are going to sell it, boss. I don't think the OC is feeling great about it, but the Cowboys are going to trumpet it. What can we do? And you know they probably are going to re-sign him for a long-term deal. Why wouldn't they?
And the numbers, favor.
Blake Jarwin's done.
Yeah, Jarwin is done.
Jarwin's done.
Yeah, instead of
and they're going to use that money when they cut him. Yeah, they're going to get that 4.5 and probably take that and use it to a show.
I just can't.
Remember when we talked about it?
I can't, bro.
I feel
No problem.
I got
Cowboy.
Go ahead and finish your statement, and I'm jumping in here, bro. I'm sick of this.
Go on, load up your gun, man. No, load up your
man,
gun.
Listen, bro. I already told y'all I was going to be pissed if they did it, so I'm not finna switch up.
I want to hear that Oak Cliff vibe, man. Let me hear it.
I'm not finna switch up, bro. I already told y'all I was going to be pissed if they did this, bro. So let's talk about it.
Tell us why, boss.
Man, this is why. Because we've paid $10 million to dump off King, bro.
Ooh,
the system generated this. It was a system generated, over targeted. It was what the playmaker, called disorder. He said we are choosing to make our role players stars. Ooh. He called it disorder. Yeah. That's what is going on. And we did this, and I'm just upset. I'm not talking to my dogs like this. I would never raise my voice at my homies like this. I'm mad at the environment. I'm mad at what's going on because this makes no sense. How do you do this with a deep free agent class? This is not just a deep draft class. This is a deep free agent class. You do not tag when you have deep options in both the draft and free agency. You don't do that. And then you got the nerve to try to act like you need every cent out of Amari Cooper while you putting a tag on a role player. It makes no sense. How can you say best with this option?
No got fired.
You know what, Cowboys? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna remix this statement.
You got fired. You got
flame. You got flame.
I'm gonna remix this statement, Boss Cowboy, so you understand it more clearly.
Now I don't need to remix nothing. I need you to take that statement back, and I need you to throw it in the trash.
He said redact
that statement. There is nothing that me, you, Big Game, Law could do to prevent this.
That's
nothing.
Given. That's given, bro.
No, listen,
that's a given argument.
You're fighting Thanos.
And I'm still gonna fight. What you gonna do? Quit? What you gonna do? Quit? And I'm still fighting.
He was inevitable.
Yeah, but you gonna quit?
He's inevitable. So it's nothing you can do.
Stones. He had the stones, like boss. He had to hand up with the stones. He did. Bro. He did. And we all pissed about it, but it was happening. We watched it.
Bro.
You knew it was happening, boss. You knew it was happening.
Cool with this
It's not. We not cool with it.
I'm saying, bro,
Boss.
everybody should be
Man,
agitated right now.
We are agitated.
Is this
But
one of
here's
those
the thing.
laugh to keep
No.
from crying?
Yeah.
No, boss. Here it is, boss. Here it is. How long we been talking about this, though, boss?
Yeah,
How
we've
long we
been
been
talking
talking about the
about this a
Cowboy way?
Yeah.
How long we been talking about the Cowboy way?
It's how they do stuff.
So this is what they do. So we don't trip. It's almost you get numb. After you get beat so many times, you just get numb to the beatings. You feel me? So we just numb to it because we just know that they're gonna jump out. I just said he's a good old boy. And I ain't trying to diss him how I said, but didn't Law bring up Michael Gallup?
Yep.
What is Michael Gallup in Dallas?
Yep. He's loved.
He's
Noah Brown.
And when you're loved in Dallas, it don't matter if you got a tore up knee. And we can get you for $10 million. We can hit you for that $10 million because now you got injured. Now we can probably hit you for that. You feel me? I mean, I'm thinking that you already coming with a deal, right? Because that's why it took so long to get the surgery.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
but here's the thing, Big Game James. The thing that we are seeing, the thing that we are seeing that's going to happen with Michael Gallup, we saw it before, and we had him on the show. His name is Barry Church. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
You remember that he got injured, and they said, "Okay, we got this deal right for you."
Mm-hmm.
Nothing,
and he said he shouldn't have took the deal.
Absolutely nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun.
yeah, man.
And
well,
you know,
then we got Tank. What's your thoughts on Tank? Or should we go with Amari? Which boy should we go with?
I mean, we could jump into Tank whenever.
Let's go, dog. Let's talk about Tank with this pay cut.
I got a lot to say about that.
Well,
I got a lot to say about that, ball Cowboy.
Well, let's go
because here's the deal, man. I've been saying this for a couple years, okay? And I put a video out this. If you guys follow Boss Cowboy Sports, go check out the video. I break this down. But between 2017 and 2018, DeMarcus Lawrence had 24 sacks. The last 3 years, he's had less than 15 total. When you pay somebody $100 million, no shade on him. He's had injuries. I still think he's a great player. I think he's an exceptional world-class run defender.
He ain't great.
Do I think he's an elite?
Wait.
Do I think he's an
He
elite?
ain't great.
Listen.
He's very good. He ain't great.
I think he's really, really good as a run defender. Do I think he's an elite pass rusher? No, I don't think he's an elite pass rusher. And his statistics show it.
Pictures.
He had 3 sacks.
I don't care
what you show. It ain't gonna be that many.
Feel me?
Hey, man, you
I don't care
wrong,
what you show.
I'm gonna tell him right after
many.
you, OC.
It ain't gonna be that many because he had 3 sacks this season. He had 4 or 5 sacks last season, and for the amount of money you pay him, the productivity wasn't there. So he should be willing to renegotiate. Now, he's playing hardball. Maybe he does end up taking a pay cut, or maybe he just says, hey, forget it, cut me, I'm gonna bet on myself. Either way is fine, but for the productivity and the amount of cash they paying him, it's not merited. And that's what it is, and that's why he got to be team friendly if he want to stay around.
Yeah, and let me jump right in. He just tagged me. He OC was in there jumping off the turnbuckle, doing body slams. He just tagged me. I'm jumping right in there, and I'm jumping right off that because I made a video about him yesterday, and I've been talking about this stuff with D-Law since dang near 2017 because the first 3 years he had 9 sacks in 3 years. Was suspended in 2016, missed them 4 games, had the back injury, had the foot injury. So not only was he injury prone, had the back injury, and he wasn't productive. And like I said, in that year that he got the 14.5 sacks, they drafted Taco because what they were thinking is if this dude don't do it this year, we're going to let him go. We're going to draft Taco in the first round, and we're going to play him on this cheap deal, and he's going to be the starter. But then D-Law turned up. And guess what? There was an interview in 2017, and D-Law said it himself, I'm a 10-sack guy. So once he said that, I held him to the fire. He said it himself, I'm a 10-sack guy. So sacks do matter. So I get tired of all these people out here talking about sacks don't matter. No, it don't. Pressures and tackles and all that. Sacks do matter because that's how DeMarcus Lawrence got paid. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't get paid because he had 58 tackles and 64 tackles and 3 sacks. And no, you got paid on 14.5 and 10.5 the next year. And guess what? I'm going to say again. You haven't hit them numbers since contract years. When you had to get the bread, you went out there and demolished. The next year, Stephen Jones even said it, and they tagged you because they even said, nope, we ain't going to give you this money because we ain't sue you. Do it. You got to do it again. And Stephen Jones said, you ain't Khalil Mack even after he did it the second year. And he had to fight to get that money. And guess what? After he got the bread, he played 16 games and got 5 sacks. The next year, he played 15 games and got 6.5 sacks. This year, you got injured once again. You played 7 games. You got 3 sacks. And guess what? When he went out the game, when he got hurt, his foot broke in Tampa Bay, did this defense fall off? Did it fall off? Did the defense just go away? No, it turned up. You saw other parts and pieces start turning up and stepping up. And then when DeMarcus Lawrence came back, he blended. So that says you're not the game-changing guy that they are paying you. So if you don't take the pay cut, okay, I ain't got nothing to do. It ain't my money. But guess what? If we're talking about production, you get $19 million a year. Yes, you need to be getting 10.5 sacks a year. You need to be getting that because that's what you got paid for, is them sacks. Yes, you great in the run game, but you need to be a game changer all the time. And we know who the game changer on that defense is right now. And when he sat out in that Philadelphia game, that first half, that defense was getting ran through. I don't care. Nobody tell me.
Say, man, hold on, kid, phone. Hey, man, who pissed off the homie, dog?
Man, who
pissed off? I'm just saying, dog.
Who pissed in your
like you can't say nothing about D-Lo. Oh, you crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know no football. He did 72 pressures. He did 72 pressures and 852 tackles. He one of the greatest in the game. No, he's not. He is very good. He is not great. If he went to another team and they paid him, he would not be the man. He would blend. If they had other good players, yes, he would turn up because he would blend with other good players. But he would not go to another team and be the man and start getting 10 sacks somewhere else. No, he's not.
Boy, baby nuts.
Let me jump in, bro. Let me jump in here real quick.
Oh, my God.
But now you can't come back. What you mean you trying to come back? Y'all ain't gonna keep. Listen, y'all ain't gonna just have no party beating up on my dog Tank, bro. That's not finna happen. I got a photo op with the homie.
There go the picture.
I got a photo op with the homie, and y'all gonna respect that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all finna respect that. Let's go with it. Let me get my thoughts on my boy Tank.
Bring the fire.
Man, you know finna bring this dog. Hold on, you already
bring it.
Fire.
Bring it.
No, you gotta bring it first. Though.
Lane.
Oh, you can't preheat it now. Bring it. Bring the fire.
Man, hey, here it comes.
There you go. Yeah, y'all sit up. Y'all shut up and listen.
Sit up and listen. I got something to say. The South got something to say. This is finna be Oak Cliff talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with it. We loaded, baby.
You're taking too long.
No,
you're taking too long.
No. See, you peeped that right because see, I got a curveball.
Okay.
Out of all these guys, this would be the one that I wouldn't trip on. Because I would be a hypocrite. I would be a major hypocrite. Because this is the deal. Big James went on the historical data, which people will fight you on, right? And I'm cool with that. People fight you on his production. And people will fight the OC on production. I'm not in that fight. Right. What I'm in the fight of is, can you have players that can potentially play and get the same production? And my answer is yes. And when my answer is yes, then you have to look at the dirty business of football. You can't have all friends at all times. And I would be very inconsistent. And I do like Tank. He signed my hat, the hot boy hat, right?
Right.
But I got to keep it real. If CD Lamb played like Jefferson, I wouldn't be tripping on losing Cooper. Mm-hmm. So if I have that thought with Cooper, I have to have the same thought with Tank. You know what I'm saying? To where if the team can save and still come out potentially just as good with Micah Parsons rushing, I'm not gonna panic. And if there's a way to retain a lot of the talent that we have, I'm with that. I'm not with the Amari thing. But that's my thoughts on Tank. I want to be clear on that. You know what I mean? And I know that's going to rub some people wrong because I like the 4-3 under. I think it's a powerful package. But you said it right, in my opinion. We was doing real good on that D, even without the big homie, dog, which does make you, to a degree, expendable.
All valid
I respect
points.
you 100%,
All valid points, man.
billion.
All valid points, man.
Come on, what you talking about, Law?
Here's the thing. Who else outside of Parsons is your edge rusher? Because you can put out all of those numbers, those beautiful numbers that you said that was missing from DeMarcus Lawrence, Big Game James. But who else outside of Parsons? Are you telling me that my guy, Randy Gregory, will be able to step up when he get the money now? Because he's finna hit 30, and we have yet to see that. Or are you trying to go into this thing blindly? That's what
I want to keep Tank. I want to keep Tank.
We must.
What I'm saying,
here's my thing.
If it was a real problem, which it's not,
right,
I would be for letting him go. But I do want to keep Tank. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying
I want to keep
I'm
him,
not
but
panicking if he. I wouldn't lose no sleep if we lost him. That's what I'm saying. Because of what Micah did. Micah got all them sacks as a part-time pass rusher. Why would I panic?
But you know what?
I'm not panicking.
And you got Dan Quinn back, Law. You got Dan Quinn back too, Law.
Yeah, we getting Dan Quinn back, but I'm still waiting on those other guys to step up. Ghost didn't show me a thing.
I mean, Dorance Armstrong Jr., I'm not saying he is, but Dorance Armstrong Jr., when he was out, he had a career year, didn't he? And we was waiting for him to do something. He had a career year across the board. I'm not saying Dorance Armstrong Jr. is a game changer, but what I'm saying is you had Basham. I don't know if they're going to cut him because it was hearing that was 9 sacks between the both of them. Yes, it didn't bring that element that DeMarcus Lawrence brings, but the defense did not fall off. But they
don't got no
here's
physicality
the thing.
and stuff.
You got to get beefy in the middle but here's the thing: is that DeMarcus Lawrence playing in the inside? No, he's a DN. You need to get that middle better, okay? Because if you get that middle better, you really aren't tripping off of you losing a DeMarcus Lawrence. Because if you get that middle stoutly, because that's where Dallas tends to struggle. They lost Brent Urban toward the end of the year. Gallimore was half out the time, and that's where they got gashed. They've always been good on the ends, and then you can slide Micah Parsons the way they were pairing that bare front and that 4-3 under, like Boss was saying. But at the end of the day, there is enough money if you do release players, right? If you do release them, you're going to get money back, correct? You're going to get at least $8 million.
It's going to be a $19 million dead cap hit for D-Law.
But that's after.
That's after
next season. But that's after June. Yeah. But if you do it now, there are some guys at the defensive ends right now, and I could see if they release Tank, I could see Dallas trying to jump out there in free agency on the DN tip to try to lessen the blow, to keep the people from being quiet, to keep the people from running their mouths. I could see them going out there and getting a DN. Remember, when we were crying about, well, not crying, we kept on screaming for your boy from Minnesota, right? Nobody thought we was going to get Everson Griffin. Nobody thought. And then that was a surprise signing, correct? And that was a DN everybody was clamoring for. So they went out and tried to do it. So I think they would try to match that in free agency. And I think there's this defensive end class. You saw that combine and the players' numbers match on the field what they were doing at the combine. So you don't feel bad at all about this defensive end class coming in. You could draft a nice defensive end, and it could definitely supplement when you add all the pieces together. So I'm saying I don't want to lose Tank, but if you're saying, hey, we can still do this, I think you can too, and the defense is going to be okay because I trust in the coordinator as well.
God damn, boy, you on fire today, man. God, dog, give him a yoga flame, man.
Yoga fire. Jeez. Yoga flame.
Man, you know my dog.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Big Game James go hard.
He hard today. He did his homework.
And the dog, that he giving L's today.
He had it out. Here's your L. I can't even.
Here's your L. That boy insane.
Me and OC had a tag team.
Y'all won that one, man. Yeah. Shoot.
They didn't win nothing. I was already with them boys, man. I was already with y'all. Y'all thought I was going to fight y'all.
Look.
I wasn't going to fight y'all on this one, dog.
The white flag was already up. I like that one.
Oh, yeah. Keeping Tank, though. I'm team keeping Tank.
I'm team Tank, too, but guess what?
Me too.
There's team players out there can do that. Not no team 19 million.
It's up to Tank, though. That's the thing. We can be team Tank. I'm team Tank. I think he's still valuable. I think he's still an emotional leader and very respected. But whether he stays here or not is completely up to him. He got to come to the table and play ball. Because if you don't come to the table and play ball, the Cowboys, in my opinion, based on this salary cap situation, they are going to be forced to move on. And if you cut them before June 1st, it's $8 million against the cap that you could use in free agency, so that you're not getting scragglers, right? Because if you wait until June 1st, you get no cap relief from his number until after you cut it. You get no cap relief.
But my thing is,
if you're going to cut him, it makes
they don't.
You need to do it now.
They don't know how to dance. You know, they got two left feet.
That's their problem.
For this free agent.
They wait.
And
they always slow-footed, and
deal.
they think they're the smartest people in the building.
Right.
Which is bringing me to my second point, Law. Bringing me to my second point. And the second point is this. You have a variety of people that could be available in this draft between the first and second round that could come in and help this defense, all right? And I talked about this on the video, okay? You got Jermaine Johnson, FSU. You got Drake Johnson, SC. You got Cameron Thomas, all right? You got that kid. You got David Ojabo out of Michigan. These are all not top-rated defensive ends that'll be gone probably in the first 15 to 20 picks, if not top 10. But these are guys that are on the second tier that performed well, that put up good numbers, and that could come in and be valuable assets as rookies to get you some productivity from the defensive end position. So you have options between pick 24 and pick 50 some odd, whatever that second pick is. So they got options.
But you do know the conundrum, right, of all of this? We didn't wheel and deal with Tank, and we played around with our food too long. And you guys remember this. They used Tank to not pay Dak Prescott. Y'all remember that? Hey, man, we got to figure that out. We got to hurry up and do this. We got to pay our guys on the defensive side. So that's why we didn't pay Dak. I remember that storyline. So now we finna get rid of Tank.
I don't think he wanted to pay Tank.
And then he didn't want to play Tank. Yeah, so we repeat.
Steven didn't want to pay Tank.
He didn't want to pay
Steven
nobody.
Jones did not want to pay Tank.
I
don't care, but he really did. To my opinion, because here's my thing. I'm gonna just keep it real. This is the one deal where I say Steven Jones was right, where he felt like I don't want to pay you that money. That's just my opinion. Because it was like when we saw that year of 14.5 sacks, it was like, yeah, that's dope, but it's in the contract year. How many times have we seen players in their contract year go nuts? You know what I'm saying? When they got to get the bag. And it's no disrespect. Anybody will do it like that when you got to get the bag. But it's the consistency. Now you got that bread. You one of the highest paid players at your position. And I don't want to hear about pressures and tackles, dog. That's not what got you. You was doing game-changing sacks. You had game-changing sacks. Dog, when you pressure somebody, pressures matter, and I know that. Okay, pressures matter. But guess what? If he slides inside and miss that pressures and throw a long bomb for a touchdown, that pressure don't mean jack poo. So pressures and sacks after that, that's what matters. And that's what makes you elite. That's when those guys say at the end of the Super Bowl, when somebody needed to make a play, that dude, Aaron Donald, got the sack. That's what I'm talking about. Does Tank do that? And when a lot of times when he gets his sacks, go see the offensive tackle he's going against. They ain't all elite.
wait.
No, that's the truth.
No,
that's
I'm with you though. See, check this, because I ain't gonna get in that fight. Because man, that to me, that's a hard fight to win or lose. Yeah. But this is the one that I want to fight with that I think is undeniable. How can we say the biggest ability is availability, and then act like 2 back surgeries and then going out with your, what happened with his foot at the first half of the season don't factor into teams wanting to try to come back and play hardball. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, especially when people behind you playing exceptionally amazing. Right. And it's like, I said this and I mean this. Whenever somebody is biased, they move their standards. Right. The standards got to be the same. I can't say over here that La'el Collins was just as good as Steele, so Steele should have played, but then be looking at Tank and then getting my emotions. It's not an emotional thing. It's about keeping the standards and your rules the same. So you can't, I couldn't do that. I would be a whack person, and I would be favoring a guy, which I say I hate when our front office does. So every now and then you do got to make tough decisions. Right. This would be one.
This will be one that we would love to see something along the lines like this right here, Boss Cowboy. Let me find my drop right quick. We got breaking news. The Cowboys traded Tank Lawrence to the Detroit Lions for a third-round draft pick, and that would be some good stuff. And we get something back in return. And the Detroit happy because they got somebody on the edge now, and we get something back in return. We don't hear that type of news in Dallas land.
Ever.
What we hear before this is that this guy refusing to take a pay cut. That guy's taking off on plays. This person don't like water. This other person refused to tie the shoelaces. That's what we get leaked out of the Cowboys camp, and all of a sudden the player smeared and cast upon as a villain. So we don't get that good trade situation. That's all I'm saying. I see a lot of people still saying Wagner. That's a hope and a prayer. We need to do the reverse.
They're not gonna do it.
We need to do the reverse and say maybe
I hope they do.
We need to do the reverse and say they ain't gonna try.
You don't think they will? I think
Nah, bro.
honestly, this is the one that I think they may try to do, just because boss. Listen how I'm saying it.
I'm listening.
Y'all know they be listening to us. Y'all know they listen to them streets. And what did I tell you about shut up signings?
You right about that. I was finna tune you out.
What I tell you about them shut up signings?
I was just finna tune you out.
Dallas loves to do them shut up signings. And guess what? If they release a player, maybe Tank gone, they want to do damage control. They so good with that.
I can see
here
that,
comes a shut up signing.
I can see that.
We got Bobby Wagner. He's reunited with Dan Quinn, Micah Parsons. Now Cowboys fans are excited again. Bro, come on, man. The shut up signing's getting ready to come.
Ooh, I wouldn't be mad at that one, because I was finna try to hit you with this crystal ball. But say, man, that boy Big Game James is shooting 1,000 a day, big dog.
He got a crap.
That boy betting 1,000 a day, bro. I can't even fight the homie today. I'm trying to fight him. I can't even fight the dog.
Put some salt
And
on
I
him.
need a Yoga fire.
Too.
I need a Yoga fire.
Oh man, no, you getting it today, dog.
Yoga
Okay.
fire.
Say,
Yoga
Yoga
flame.
flame. I just love that noise.
Yes,
Nice.
indeed. And on top of
appreciate
that,
y'all.
I'm gonna add this.
Perfect.
Oh,
It been a minute.
He is throwing it out there. I appreciate those.
I ain't gonna fight Joe. When you talking real with common sense, I back up.
Too hot for TV, man. Shit.
Appreciate you.
Now check this out.
Hey, we all flowing.
No, you flowing, big dog. I got to give you.
I know y'all about to flow on this Cooper thing. That's why I'm
No.
I
got a segue before we go to Cooper, because I'm gonna go hard on Cooper. Because I was ready. I'm still mad at y'all on this Schultz BS y'all talking about for this dude over here dumping off. I'm gonna show the field. I'm still mad at this mess.
I wasn't on shows. I'm just saying.
Dump off King. Dump
like
off.
OC said.
Dump off.
Good tight window throw. Right
Witness.
there.
That was a
Witness.
nice throw.
That was a good throw.
Yeah.
Witness.
Dump off King, and y'all over here like, that's the best, man. Best, man, I ain't trying to hear that. But this is a perfect segue.
It is inevitable.
Now, Law had
Inevitable.
a good segue, dog. Law hit the segue on this one. And I was watching the Russell Wilson trade. And I said the thing I envied the most is how silent Seattle was before this broke. So the trade maxed out the value of Russell. I should have put of Russell.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys would have chosen the monetary value from public publicity drama over the football trade value, and that is a fact. It is exactly what Law said.
Yeah, that's real talk, dog.
Look,
because Seattle just sat there and faded and let them keep talking. Keep talking, and bam, out of nowhere traded. And what did they say? No, we have no thoughts of trading Russell Wilson. No thoughts at all. None at all. Bam, gone.
You know what? Yeah. If Russell Wilson played for Dallas, right? Let's say he never won the Super Bowl, but he was just playing at Dallas, right? and his record would have been still the same as Dak Prescott. They would have had everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, news saying that, is Ciara a drama and Big D? Is she distracting the star player? Is he really focused on football? You see him up there with Roger Goodell at the Honors Award show. You know, that would have been leaked all throughout the Dallas media. Russell Wilson, is he really an elite quarterback? I promise you. But that is the situation. When the last time Russell won the Super Bowl, you know, or playoff game? The last game that he was in the playoff, I believe, he lost to Dak Prescott. You know, it would have been all type of stuff, you know. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Seattle Sea Chickens for getting 2 first-round draft picks. Can you pull that back up, Boss Cowboy? I think it was under there. 2 first-round draft picks.
Faded.
Yeah, I got
They got 2 second-round draft picks, and they got a 3rd or a 4th-round draft pick to get rid of Russell Wilson. That is not bad, because they looking at it like, hey, we in rebuild mode. We understand that, hey, Russell, they got us a Super Bowl or what have you. It's time for us to move on. I just went off the top of my head. I don't think I tweeted it out. But you guys get what I mean.
Hey, you know what else, Law?
I did. Here you go right there.
Of course you did, Law.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you know what else, Law? You
My
know what
dog
else?
Law,
What you just
of
said
course
with
you
that?
did.
Yeah.
What else would they say with that? They sit there and said, how many years have we heard about Seattle? They always getting rid of their first rounders. They always getting rid of their first rounders. They ain't never got no draft picks. They ain't never got no draft picks. But you know what they did? They squeezed all the juice that they could out of these guys, out of the winning. All right, y'all done. You know what? Oh, we ain't got no first rounders. This is our time to recoup. But like I said, them boys be out there about that business. Dallas, that's what all our Cowboys fans get frustrated. OC, Boss, Law, this is what we get frustrated about, because we never see our team just jump out there and be like, boom, you hear it in the news out of nowhere. Dallas just traded somebody, got 2 first rounders or got a first and a third. That's what we get excited about, because when you see your organization doing those type of things, you like, oh, yeah, they don't care. They trying to win. Where they don't give a hell. Don't y'all get that feeling when you see them doing that kind of stuff? You like, man, these dudes trying to win. We're trying to get it, recoup it. Okay, we lost the top quarterback, but this is a good draft. We got first rounders, second rounders. We're going to be right back in it within a couple years. I like that mentality.
And let me say this, too, because a lot of people said doing all of that took them out of contention. But I'm going to tell you guys, the Seattle Seahawks, when they had went and paid all of that money for Matt Flint, remember that?
They got a good coach.
They had a coach
to
coach understand and identify that Russell, who was drafted in the 3rd round, they didn't make it no battle or no situation whereas one is gonna sully or denigrate the other. No, they said no, Russell Wilson is the starter. We gonna roll with that. This defense is good enough. They didn't win the Super Bowl that year, but they was wise and smart enough with that young team. People better realize it wasn't an old team. It was a young team, and they made a few free agent moves. I can see Pete Carroll saying, let me repeat that, por favor, once again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the organization was like, do it.
And they got a slew of picks. Yeah.
One thing I want to pull out, Law, this is kind of a left field thing, but I did want us to talk about this. And then I want to talk about the smear campaign with Amari. So, looking at you talking about, like, the NFL determined that Calvin really placed multi-leg parlay bets involving 3, 5, and 8 games that included the Falcons to win, per source. Investigation determined that there was no involvement from any team players, coaches, etc., placed via his mobile device out of state. Right. So this was real what you said right here, Big Dog. I want us to talk about this, all of us together, because I think it's real. You said, so he bets on his team to win, and he's the problem and gets suspended for a year. So if I have a domestic violence charge, he'll get a 6-game suspension OT. But an owner, Miami Dolphins, can offer to pay a coach to lose games and nothing happens? Yeah. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, conspiracy all the way, man. And what I mean about that is that some people are only looking at it from the player perspective and saying, man, we all know that players shouldn't bet on games. But no, They stopped the investigation, dare I say, of the Miami thing with the owner supposedly paying off $100,000 for Brian Flores to lose, what have you. So now this is swept under the rug because Brian Flores is still employed now. He got signed up and picked up to coach over there in Steelers land. So my thing is, should they still do some investigation on that? Or they saying that he lied? So even if he lied, then there should be some ramifications and repercussions for that. So they miss me with that. So yeah, I get it. Calvin Ridley is suspended for the full year. I get it. The Pete Rose fiasco that happened in baseball, and you don't want players to bet. But he's betting on his team to win. It's not like he said, I'm betting for my team to lose. But here's another thing. The gray area is what I'm talking about, is that the NFL picked up this thing, like old folks say, and some of the people that grew up in the country. Do as I say, don't do as I do. The NFL is profiting off of gambling. The NFL is profiting off of betting. So you mean to tell me if I know any of an NFL player that play in the National Football League, I can't just take their cell phone for a quick second and say, let me place these bets right quick. Let me hold your phone for a quick second. It's nothing to download a bet app on your phone, and I can place the bet. But you know what I'm saying, Boss Cowboy? This is another thing.
I want to jump in with you
This is
real
another
quick,
thing.
Go ahead.
They took $11 million from him, and I'm quite sure that they are peed off at the fact that he checked out of some of those games because of his mental capacity, and they trying to recoup that money because you saw the clip that I sent you, about productivity, and they got little clauses in the contracts that they want to get some of that money back.
Oh, we gonna talk about that. You be segueing it up perfect. See, one thing I want to say though, this is why we got to keep our eyes on the refs. Dallas Cowboy fans, this got something to do with the Dallas Cowboys.
Big facts.
You got to keep your eye on them refs. Look how uneven the judgment is on players versus allowing individuals to bet. So the owners want to get that gambling money, right?
Right.
But you see how heavy they handed it on players. And it makes me say they not being careful of how this can get out of hand. There's still organized crime. There are still people that's going to be trying to influence outcomes. There are refs that's going to be able to get paid from influencing outcomes.
Big facts.
We would be very unwise to go against even the players and coaches when we see discrepancy with outcomes. The gambling is saying it's going to get worse. That's all I want to say about that. No doubt. But hey, this is the one I want to bring up too, bro. I'm going to go ahead and set it off real quick, and then we go get into some real meat. Let's go.
And I don't know if you were aware of what Cole Beasley was tweeting out yesterday about management deciding who gets the football in an offensive scheme, Stephen.
I would hope that's just his frustration, but certainly not at all the case. I mean, we don't get involved in that. We do, the only thing we ever do is decide to tell you if we're going to, pay players a lot of money or we're going to trade for players and give up big picks, that we certainly hope that they would be involved. If we're going to do things like that there's a reason we're doing it, that they're going to be involved, but we would never dictate where balls go or things of that nature in terms of the game plan and getting involved with what our coaching staff does to get ready to play a ball game.
And I don't know.
So, like I did my own research, right? And I looked at something. I want to get y'all thoughts on this, okay? I really want y'all to really give me an open ear and look at this, okay? Because I broke down the percentages of snaps for both receivers, okay? Amari and Cooper Kupp. And you can clearly see, and I want to go around the circle and get y'all opinion on this. You can clearly see in 2021 that the percentages of team snaps was way down for Amari Cooper as well as his targets. There's a case to make, and I'm hearing more and more rumblings from a lot of players, not even Dallas Cowboy players. We're going to play you more clips of stuff like that, which is showing there's potential meddling going on with the Dallas Cowboys. I want to get y'all thoughts on that. What's y'all thoughts? OC, we ain't heard from you in a while. We're going to go with you, big dog.
Yeah, man. So my thoughts is
people
that
around you help you.
Here's the thing, man. When you look at what you want to do when you forecast, we know that it was meddling with the Terrence Steele and La'el Collins situation from the offensive line perspective.
Right.
So I believe in consistency, and that if there's meddling with that, there's definitely meddling with other people as it relates to who plays, who doesn't, what I would do if I was the coach, and basically puppet mastering your coach or decisions in some sort of way. We also saw this in the Jason Garrett era. So no, as a pattern, I see it as a pattern. I don't put it by the front office of the Cowboys to meddle and do things like that. And also, if you notice, the commitment to win was just tremendously greater by the Rams versus the Cowboys. We're looking at future contracts because we have poor financial management, right? And that's the deal. That's why we having cap problems, restructures, a rush emergency to restructure, right? Because we didn't deal with the COVID year well, right? We didn't deal with and prep for that and adjust to that well. So, yeah, man, I don't buy it. I think that it's definitely meddling for sure. I don't buy it.
Yeah. And see, it's one more thing I want to, just real quick, Big, because it's one more thing I want to show on this illustration real quick that's super important. Notice something, and I noticed this when I was looking at the trends from yesterday. I was looking at the percentage of team snaps. I was looking at it for years. For the last 4 years, did y'all notice something about Cooper Kupp? Tell me what y'all noticed about this data.
Increase.
Yes.
Increase.
They increased his snaps. They increased his targets. It is showing clearly from the data when I look at it that they made a philosophy change in 2021. To me, you can see it. The numbers was very committee-ish, just like Cooper, up into 2021, which mean they said we are going away from committee and we finna go at our best receiver. They made a concerted effort to intentionally target aggressively Cooper Kupp, and he blew up. So I gotta ask a question: is it the athlete or is the system?
I think
it's the athlete, man. Yeah. It's always been athlete, man. Athletes win games, man. You know, here's the thing. Here's the terminology that people use for wide receivers, and y'all all know this. What do they say? They say win on the route, right? Win on the route. So you throw the football to the guy if you have a progression as a quarterback to the person that won on the route. So you can throw the ball to Cooper Kupp that much, and he can catch a variety of balls versus no matter who you play him against, by the way. You know why? Because he's skilled at winning at the route. The same thing with Amari Cooper. If you give him adequate targets, what do you see him do? You see him win on the route. He is beating the defense on the route he's running. And that's the whole key to this whole thing. Forget your system, man. I mean, you can have a system for days, but if your players can't win, it doesn't matter. But the issue and the contradiction with all that is that you're not throwing the ball to the person who is winning. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm going to say is this.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say this about Amari Cooper. You traded for him. Dallas was down and out. Mm-hmm. We ain't seen y'all make no kind of trades like this ever. Everybody was surprised when this happened. Everybody, because Dallas don't do this, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all made the trade that Dallas don't never do. Then you was pumping out your chest about Amari Cooper because you made this great trade. You got a first round guy. You know, Stephen Jones was just smelling himself. But this is what I looked at. You signed him to that deal, but I feel like you do meddle. I know you meddle because I talked to players and they said you meddle. So I don't listen to none of that stuff. Y'all lying. But here's what I'm gonna look at. You re-signed Cooper to the nice deal right after he turned up. Came over to Dallas. He turned up, right?
Yep.
So you used him. You knew you had to out in a couple years. And when I look at his numbers, 79 receptions, 92 receptions, both over 1,100 yards. When I seen his career at Oakland, he pretty much beat all those years in Dallas. He pretty much beat at Oakland.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, when there's time to release you, all of a sudden you ain't getting these catches.
Yeah.
You bring up Oakland.
All of a sudden now you ain't getting these catches. So you got 2 years of how they wanted to use you up. We got it out after this year. So here's our way to get our out, because there's no way, in my opinion, that he's under targeted. The year before, he had 92 receptions, 1,114 yards, and Dak Prescott played 5 games.
Right.
Let me say
that's
that again.
The thing.
Dak Prescott played 5 games last year, and he had 92 catches for 1,114 yards.
And look at this. Look at the percentage of snaps they had him in. So they intentionally used him more with backup quarterbacks. You targeted him more.
Your dog?
You targeted him more with your backups than you did with Dak. That's what the numbers clearly say. To Big Game James' point, bro, you hit that on the nail.
He had his career year, his best year in the NFL, almost yards-wise. He had his most receptions with backup quarterbacks. He had 92 catches.
That don't make no sense. Yeah. You can't explain that.
Bizarre.
That's bizarre.
And the fold to this will be this right here.
And Dak set records this year.
Right. And Dak did.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Dak set records this year. Dak set records this year, broke Tony Romo's record, and Amari Cooper has 68 catches for 865 yards, like he fell off. Y'all crazy over there.
Well, by y'all announcing that, they're saying the variable is, and the problem is Dak Prescott. Then, if that's the case, you answer your own problem. That's what people are saying in my chat over here. Do y'all have any rebuttal to that?
Is Dak to blame? What's the question?
Yeah, they said that you answered.
They're basically trying to say
that Dak Prescott is the problem.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say where Dak is the problem, because I always talk about where Dak is not the problem. There's some issues where Dak is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Dak need to speak up, bro. Like, this stuff ain't gonna stop until you stop acting like you're a $600,000 quarterback. You're a $40 million quarterback now. You gotta move the weight of what you want. You can't let these guys just take your weapons and then you don't say nothing. I don't know if he fussing, but he better be fussing and fighting. Because I know one thing, Romo and Aaron Rodgers, they would be not cool with the taking weapons that helped him play quarterback better. You know what I mean?
Off.
Yeah, they go be going off. At some point, you gotta show your weight, because it's sad that we gotta put this on you, Dak. It's sad. But really, on the cool, they go keep doing what they want to do until you show. This is the best way to say it. Mitt Romney said it like this in a debate, in a presidential debate. It was epic what he said. He said, yeah, when you're an entrepreneur like me, you learn something. He said, yeah, when you owe the bank $10,000, they own you. You put up all kind of collateral. They can take your assets. They can take your house. They can take everything. But when you owe the bank $1 million, you own them. See, Dak's $40 million is weight. They gotta honor it. He holds the weight of the team, and he gotta speak up on this stuff, man. Like, you can't give me Schultz. You can't give me. Come on, you can't give me Gallop coming off an ACL injury. They gonna only be stuck out there with Lamb and Turner at the start of the season. Who gonna speak up about that? You gotta say something for yourself.
But also, I'm my bad. Also, I'm just gonna say this like one quick second. I just want to answer these people like, oh, you answer your question and it's Dak. And no, it's not Dak, because guess what? When Amari Cooper came over, who was he throwing the ball to? Who was Dak throwing the ball to?
Cool.
He was throwing it to Amari. Amari we saw what he did in Green Bay. We saw what he did in the Philly games. We saw how he instantly took over and they went on a win streak. So it can't be Dak, because Dak was going to him and the whole game changed. So we can't sit there and say, oh, there's your answer. It's Dak. No, it ain't, because Dak was turning all the way up. I feel like Amari helped Dak become even a better quarterback. That's what I'm going to say, and I don't care what nobody tell me. Amari helped make him a better quarterback because now it gave him even more confidence. I can go. Maybe I'm not throwing the ball perfect, but Amari is the type of guy that I can adjust to it. You feel what I'm saying? They both helped each other, but Dak was definitely going to him. Our team changed because Dak, we had a go-to guy. So I don't want to hear, it's Dak. No, it wasn't, because they was turning up. Dak and him was the connection, y'all. Do we forget that? Do we forget that? Do we forget the connection that they had in 2018, 2019 when he was killing people? Do we remember what he did to Jair Alexander? That was Dak Prescott throwing it to him.
Sure was.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear that. Man. They faded Amari Cooper, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, they faded him, man. They sold him, bro.
Man. And look, I'm gonna say several things. Go ahead, Mo.
No. Go. Your show word.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna be quick with this one. I'm gonna say several things, and I'm gonna summarize this whole thing. Here's the deal, man. Dak Prescott, regardless of what you say, he does not call the plays. Yeah. All right, number one. He does not call the plays. Number two, to Boss Cowboys' point,
that's real.
Here's the thing that's unfortunate in corporate America and organizations is that sometimes people don't respect you until you turn into somewhat of a bully.
Yep, right.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers bullied the Green Bay Packers out of $200 million. He got $153 million guaranteed. He bullied them. He bullied them.
But that's what I'm talking about.
I hate the head coach. I hate the GM. I hate all y'all.
But that's what I'm talking about.
That's what he did.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what he
Act
did.
like you're a $40 million dude. That's what I'm saying. We saying the same thing, bro.
But,
and this is
listen,
the thing.
Bob,
Go ahead.
Here's the key. Mm-hmm. What did they do immediately when Aaron Rodgers signed that extension? They franchise tagged Devontae Adams. Immediately.
Right.
Franchise tag.
Because they knew.
So, I'm keeping my number one. You better keep my number one. Because I'm going to act a fool. Third thing, and I'm done. Dallas Cowboys organization is the perfect environment to use the good old boy rubbing elbows leverage. It would be no thing for Dak if he chose to call up Stephen Jones. Hey, Stephen, what we doing about this quarterback? Hey, I really love Amari. I got to have it. We got to make it happen. I don't care what you got to do. We got to make it happen. This is the perfect team to flex and be able to get stuff done behind closed doors. Go ahead, Big Law.
Oh, Law, can I jump in real quick? Law, I'm going to be quick. This is one more thing I want to say about that. You also got to be that type of dude that say, forget it. I'm finna go with my number one. You got to be like, say, listen, because we all know, bro, be honest, we all know. In the clutch, Romo didn't care. He was going whatever he wanted. Best dogs. Period. He didn't care. It was 4th and 1 on the catch, and he threw a fade.
Right, for real.
It was 4th and 1.
Beasley was open underneath.
Yeah, Dak is still, in my opinion, carrying himself like he's a $600,000 guy. He's still too. It's the company man is not the word. He's still too compliant. He's still too team player. Sometimes you gotta buck up against stupid stuff like this system stuff. Somebody gonna have to break the rule, because remember when we beat Philly, it was because they broke the rule.
They broke the rule that year, yeah. But let me ask you this though: who got paid first, Amari Cooper or Dak Prescott?
Amari.
Okay. You see, so that's what people were saying. Dak should speak up. Nobody spoke up for Dak Prescott. Let me tell y'all a little story.
That's real.
Amari Cooper got paid before Dak. Let me go a little further. Jalen Smith got paid before. Smith got paid before Dak Prescott. Oh, let me tell you something. Ezekiel, Elijah, Elliott got paid before Dak. Oh, let me tell you something. Tank Law got paid before Dak. So all of these guys got paid before Dak. None of those guys were saying, hey, you got to pay my quarterback. You got to put the money in his head.
Man, don't be keeping it real like that. Don't be keeping it real like that, dog.
Rico Gallup.
Hold up, Law.
Rico Gallup was making more money than Dak Prescott, you know.
Hold up, Law.
I'm listening.
I can't fight you on that, Law.
Talk to me.
But doesn't that go to my point again that I told y'all a little while back, and Boss said nope, he didn't believe it when I said Stephen Jones wasn't believing he was the franchise guy, and he's always complaining about him. Yeah, he is. When you hear whenever they're trying to sign a contract now, who's he bringing up?
Dak. Well, we got the quarterback.
We got that quarterback. That high-paid quarterback.
You paid these quarterbacks that $40 million.
Man, what, bro? And you just showed all these other people that got paid before Dak. And Stephen Jones Stephen Jones said Ezekiel Elliott is the water that stirs the drink, or whatever the hell he said. That's what he said, dog. They all paid him. I'm telling you, Stephen Jones in my heart, just me, nobody else. I don't believe that he believes he's the franchise guy.
Yeah,
crazy.
I think he just says it, and he just says it.
Crazy.
I'm just thinking, bro, he's the last one to get signed. He's always complaining about him. Even when they were signing him, what did he keep on crying about? Well, Dak got to understand. Everybody got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. Dak got to understand that. Dak understand that. Then when he paid him, well, when you got a franchise guy, you know, it's hard to get these contracts because you're paying this guy. He keeps talking about him, bro. Like, I don't care.
And I left out,
I'm staying with that.
I left out, too. La'el Collins got paid before Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
bro.
I can go on and on, Cowboy Nation. So here's the thing.
But hold on. I got to fight you back just a little bit, Law. I got to fight you back just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just don't shank me
just
with the
a little bit, though.
You know?
This go be padded up. Keep your headgear on.
Yeah.
I say it like this. But see, Dak still needs to be able to speak up for his weapons, because the weapons is also for him.
Big facts. Yeah, that's big facts. He need to speak up. Yeah.
Because Amari still got his without Dak. You know what I'm saying? He got his without Dak, right? He went hard last year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you still got to, and that's why I said this ain't gonna be a hard punch. This is more like a light jab. Yeah. You know what I mean? A counter. A counter to your
shit.
point.
I might have a weak jaw,
though. See how this stuff is getting set up, bro. I already see this stuff getting set up, dog. Even with Dak, I already see the setup. Yeah. They do the same setup. They restructured Dak, and Dak, you better beware. Here it comes. You better watch back, Dak. They restructured you, and they ain't going to keep restructuring you dog. So that's why I be trying to see. This is my frustrating thing with the Cowboys. I'm sorry I'm not trying to take everybody's time. Please, I apologize about it. But this is what really frustrates me about Dallas, because they're always crying about, you know, player development, getting young players, right? But then they waste these young players years. Then they waste these young players years meddling and doing all this. You wasted Ezekiel Elliott's young years. You're wasting Dax. You're wasting Zach Martin. All these young guys that y'all bring in and on the great draft, Michael Parsons, great draft. But y'all need to make it happen now, because you're wasting it. Because then guess what? When Michael Parsons and then Trevin Diggs come up on their contracts, it's going to be another fight, because they're going to be one of the highest paid at their positions because of the fight. And then we're going to hear that same crying noise. Then we're going to see the same thing about restructuring and cutting people and bringing it. Dude, it's an ugly, nasty, dirty story, dog. And I'm tired of hearing them doing this stuff with these young players, and you develop them, but you just waste their time. If you having these great drafts, y'all should already know this. Y'all know this. When you get all these young players in the draft, the time is to win now. But when they're in their cheap contracts.
Let me tell you this, Big Game James. We can go back and forth with this, but you were right on the money with this one by wasting young, talented players' years. And one of the people that a lot of people miss out that they wasting is by the name of Tony Pollard. Name me on the offensive side a player that's more explosive, collectively speaking, than Tony right now. Y'all can't name me one, right? And
I'm thinking too. I really
nobody's
can't.
more explosive.
I'm real life thinking.
And this is low key, quietly, the contract year of Tony Pollard, and they already setting up tools and procedures to put out there that they gonna lowball this man so low, because he gonna probably want his money, but it's gonna be hard pressed for them to make the justification not to. But the only way they got to do it is not giving him the ball. You can't name me.
Yep.
You can't name me a more explosive player on the offense than Tony right now.
Yeah, I want to play something because we keep kind of get going into like, is front office and would front offices around the NFL actually do things that could actually sabotage players? And a lot of people don't believe that happens. I want us to kind of look at some existing players and kind of hear them talk about it. I want to get y'all thoughts on this, and then I want to talk about Michael Gallup, okay, and his contract. Go from there. But check this out. Here we go.
Listen, they did it. I cover the Dolphins. They did it to Ronnie Brown. They did it to Reggie Bush. Both times they had incentives that they had to reach in the final game. They purposely sat them in those games or didn't carry the ball in those games to prevent the running backs from getting to the incentives that they need to reach. And, at that time, y'all all know this.
Were they still winning?
It was the Dolphins. They wasn't winning.
But I'm saying, did they do it? If they had a shot at the playoffs and all,
No, it's the Dolphins.
It's 10-6, not make the playoffs. We know the Dolphins.
10-6.
But no, 9-7.
No, I've seen it too many times with athletes where they have are at the doorstep of incentives, and then all of a sudden, they forget about them. They don't call their number. They go away from them.
But it's business.
That's facts. When I talked to George Teague and other players, and they told me, George Teague told me with the boys. I don't know if it was with the boys of Green Bay. He said he had a $500,000 bonus ready to come. He had to get these for a certain amount of snaps these last 2 games. He said they cut his snaps down, so he didn't get that bonus.
$500,000.
That happens all the time. I don't know why, bro. They do it in corporate world where we work at jobs. You think they want to give us money?
You right?
They high side us. So what do you think they're gonna do with players in the NFL, dog? They do us in regular corporate world. They screw us.
Yeah, man, that was real though. Because see, a lot of people don't believe this happened. They think conspiracy.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
They think we just talking.
Yeah.
They think Cole Beasley was just talking. They just. Right. They think it's just a coincidence. See, because this is the sad thing. I want to say this. This is what I'm going to know for sure. I'm going to know about one thing if CeeDee Lamb is going to be next. His snap counts. Next year, keep your eye on his snap counts. If he's still hovering around 75-80% snap counts, that is receiver by committee, and they finna rotate him out too, because we don't want no number one. Tell you, this system not gonna want to pay number ones. They'll put a new 88 on somebody else, I promise you. You know what I mean? So I think next year they go ramp up his targets though. I think we gonna see a ramp up. Because they gonna want to show
it's gonna go crazy. Yep.
They gonna want to show they was
so right
right
with that, boss.
Yeah, they gonna want to show they was right. Go ahead though, Big. Go ahead.
No, I'm just bouncing off you. So right with that, because if they let go Coop, they're gonna do the justification thing, and they're gonna flood CD. They're gonna try to make him have like a career year to justify C, and then just like you said, when that money start coming around, CD, don't watch who they draft too.
It's gonna be
okay, y'all. Watch who they draft too, because if they get them a nice receiver, CD, you next.
You next. You better watch them snap counts, and
you better watch it.
And it's the snap counts. The snap counts is gonna give it away. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye all the way on it, because you can see the snap counts with Cooper his whole career. He never had respectable snap counts, especially when you compare him to other top receivers. If you go to data by lineups, NFL, you'll see most number ones and top receivers was in the game 95 to 99% of the game. I mean, 99% of the time. So most people talking about his targets is also the times he was not on the field. And all you got to do is just think about it a little bit. Was he on the field in that Philly game?
Hey, Boss Cowboy, I'm going to let y'all carry this across the finish line. Your boy got to work the line, so I know y'all got it.
All right, we got it, big dog. Keep your camera on.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's what's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be looking at that. I'm gonna be looking at that. That's gonna tell me everything I need to know. So yeah, real quick, I want to talk about that Michael Gallup real quick. What's your thoughts on that contract with Mike?
Oh my God.
Well, for me, I made a video on it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know the injuries, but I don't know. I like Michael Gallup. I can't front. And you know, he is a guy that he comes to work, man. I mean, he comes to work. He plays hard. He blocks. He does a lot of things. The biggest thing that hurts Michael Gallup is his injuries. You get what I'm saying? His injuries have hurt him. He's been an injury-prone player. So I think that's where the buyer beware comes, because he's not getting injured fingers, broken hands, arms. They're knee injuries, calf. You know, you need that explosiveness. You feel me? So I think that's where my buyer's beware is. But if he does like $10 million, and here's my thing, y'all. This is only contingent if Amari Cooper is released, okay? If Amari Cooper is released, then I know the Dallas way. Then CD will jump probably to the number 1. You got Gallup at a number 2. I don't like how they took forever for the surgery. If they re-sign Cedric Wilson and then the kid Turner comes and then Faye Hoko and then they draft a high receiver, that's the way they'll look at it. But I always said this, and y'all know from last year, I wanted to trade Michael Gallup last year. I was trying to trade him last year because I said you don't pay 2 guys. And if Amari Cooper stays on the roster, fellas, let's say by chance he stays on the roster and that money is guaranteed, no, it makes no sense for you to sign Michael Gallup to that then, because you don't pay a number 1 that kind of money and then that number 2, especially somebody who's been injury prone. But if he leaves, it makes more sense to Dallas. Not to me in a big thing, but it makes more sense to Dallas because now they have a guy that they feel like he's been with us. We know him. And you know how that's how Dallas does. And he's a good old boy.
Yeah. On top of that, facts.
Let me pull up Kenny Gallaudet contract from last year because they had similar numbers. And you guys remember Kenny Gallaudet, the guy signed with the Giants. And I believe that's around the way of what Gallup is going to look for, something around that number line there. And $30 million probably guaranteed, $50 million overall over a 4 to 5 year span. I get it, right? The Cowboys' way would be, hey, he's a homegrown guy. We like to pay our guys. We like our guys, and we want to set an example for people to come to Dallas of who we draft and who we pick up. We want to show that we love our guys. But I'm looking at it like this. This dude coming off of an injury. Let the market set. Let him test the market. Let somebody else pull or roll the dice on that one. And this draft class, like you mentioned earlier, is huge. It's a big draft class as it relates to wide receivers. You know, and you got your CeeDee Lamb already. He's supposed to be your creme de la creme, and you already about to pay your tight end. You paid your tight end before him, right? Jarwin, you paid him that you about to get rid of because he had an ACL situation, and now he have a hip deal that he would not be ready for the start of the year. So I just look at it like this. The wise thing for the Cowboys to do is to get out their feelings and say, yeah, we love this guy. I understand that, you know, what he did for the organization. His brother passed away due to suicide. He came back to play on that day. It was a wonderful experience for us to win that game in honoring of him. But it's time for us to just let this one go, you know. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you like this, man. I think they selling us a real nasty bill of goods, to be all the way honest with you. Because we got a receiver that was injured in January with a knee injury, coming off a calf injury, and they think he gonna be ready to go by August. Okay, sure. And you telling us we feel like signing him for $10 million, we are doing that because we feel like he's gonna be ready. It's March 8th.
Right.
It is way too soon. So what you mean he came out of surgery and say, this surgery was good. We think based on this great surgery.
It's minimum 8 months at the best. Even when Adrian Peterson came back in his career year when he ran for 2,000, it was 8 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then he didn't have a pulled calf the couple of weeks prior to that,
Right.
And people fail to realize wide receiver, like running back, you creating the cut as you holding the ball, right? Wide receivers, you running against naked wind. You got to plant your foot, jab. You got to do a little bit more. And a lot of times you are exerting a lot of explosive energy without ball. And I understand that, he could be ready. He could be flat out ready. But the problem is he gonna miss all the OTAs, training camp, and preseason. And for him to be ready week 1, it's gonna be a rush job, just like they rushed Jarwin out there because we wanted to see it so bad. And then one injury will occur because of the other injury. So, look, Cowboy Nation, I love the storyline. I love Gallop. We met him personally. Me, Big Gabe James, we all met him, right? At the Cowboys experience.
He's a good
Wonderful
dude.
guy. Good dude.
Good dude.
Real good dude. But this time, nice guys finish last. This is a business.
Yeah.
You should have been, like Big Game James
Right,
said,
Law.
lobbying a trade for him or what have you. But now it's time for you to go into this draft or this free agent and getting one of those guys or getting somebody in the draft.
Yeah, bro. That's exactly what you got to do, bro. Because D.A. Lee said it right. I'm looking at the comments. They selling us
that was a great comment.
Bunch of what my boy D.A. said. He said, they selling us hope as usual. Gallop won't be ready. Yeah, he won't be ready.
Yeah.
So
hey, I didn't mean to cut you off, boss. Go ahead.
That means it's one dude that he gotta become a number 1 right now. Nah.
CD.
CD got to become a number 1
He got to be
right now.
He's got to be an animal
right now, because he gonna be forced to. Everything finna be fully focused on him, big dog.
Everything's gonna be on him.
Everything. The good thing is the boy cold. Boy is cold.
He good.
He need to work on them hands, but his feet, nice. His yak, nice. He was close to game changer, bro, for real. Like, I felt Big James. It was a whole lot of times we had real good fights in here about that. And it wasn't no easy
when
fight.
CD was turning up, right?
He was turning
remember
up,
the
dog.
beginning of the scene, he was turning up. And, I mean, and not like if you go back and look at his numbers, his first 2 years, especially last year, his numbers weren't bad at all. People just looking at those drops. But if you look at across the board, I mean, Jamar Chase had a crazy year, but he had 10 drops. A lot of these guys had 8, 9 drops. There was a lot of guys out there who were doing that. Make no excuses for CeeDee Lamb, but I'm just saying, let's not act like he's a trash receiver. That's not the case.
Nope.
CeeDee Lamb is cold. You feel me? So let's not diss him like that. But just to bounce off that Gallup thing, man, I'm just listening to you guys, and I made this video. I feel like I got to delete the video now. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy got the law done got my head. I was like, yeah, for what it is. And the way I was hedging, fellas, like I said, it was contingent if Cooper was gone. But when I'm listening to y'all talking, then I think of when Jarwin tore his ACL, right? He tore his ACL week 1. We saw him come in this year. He was still on bands. You feel me? He wasn't even. They put him on PUP, and then we saw Tristan Hill. He got hurt like week 4. He didn't come until mid-season. Mid-season.
Say that again, dog.
Tristan Hill was out, week 4, week 5? He didn't come back till mid-season.
Bruh.
So you're really banking and hoping and praying because you don't know the body. You can
Yoga
say this,
fire.
but you don't know how that
Yoga
body's going to react.
flame.
So, y'all smack me in the head on this one. I'm going to have to go back and look at that video and see what I said. Make sure I go back and look at that video again. Because Law and Boston told me some things, especially what you just said, Law, about, man, hey, it's great what you did, but there's a lot of receivers out there that could come in and play right now.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And
deep young
they can
draft.
come in and play deep. And with the way they was running these 40s,
dog, don't y'all know what's really going on, though?
Talk to us.
This is what's going on. Any other general manager will be responsible for those type of comments, right? He'll be responsible.
Right. Yeah.
If he say that these guys will be ready and they not, then his back will be against the wall. It'd be like firing squad because they're going to be like, hey, everyone have a reason. But results are what matter. And Tristan Hill, he wasn't ready. Jarwin wasn't ready like you mentioned. And you trying to tell me that you're not finna make you're not finna go make the corrections in this draft or in this free agency for a hope and a prayer that a guy's going to be ready. No. We need something tangible from you, general manager.
Yeah,
but
that's real
this
talk.
general manager is unfireable. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Facts.
That's I need a fire on that one.
Yoga fire.
And
Yoga
a flame. And a perfect.
Man, you doing too much, dog.
Bro, that's real talk. What he's saying.
I give him the perfect.
But that's the real. But that's what he's. Boss. What he's saying is real talk about the GM. The GM ain't firing himself, so the GM can take his time. The GM can do what he want, and guess what? His kids ain't saying nothing to him, and if they do, he can overrule them whenever he wants. You get what I'm saying?
No, that's a perfect for sure.
He don't have no pressure. He don't have no pressure of saying why Gallup ain't ready. Well, he gonna be ready soon. And that's all we have to live off of because we don't have nothing else. Because just like Law just said so eloquently, I got that word out perfect. So good the way he said that was because man, there's no pressure, and that's one of the reasons I'm gonna say again why they overpay for Will McClay because it allows them to stay comfy. They don't never have to change. They don't never have to do anything different because anybody else, Boss Cowboys and Law Nation would come in and say, no, I'm the GM. I need to make these decisions. You need to allow me to do that. But they won't. They don't want that. They ain't going to do that. And that's where that we talk about, they ain't meddling when Stephen Jones is saying, I think Cole Beasley's just kind of frustrated. Shut up. You lying. You lying through your teeth when you sit there and say that you're not having an influence on decisions on that field. When I used to see that daggone owner, when Dallas Cowboys would lose games, come on the field. So don't sit there and tell me when the owner used to come on the field and when I had a quarterback that used to play for the Dallas Cowboys and say the owner used to sit in quarterback meetings that y'all don't meddle.
Yeah, they meddle.
And you know what? You know the problem is, Big Game James? This is the problem in Boss Cowboy. He had got it wrong when he said that. The general manager supposed to say, hell yeah, I control who get the ball. I'm the manager. I'm the one I really want this guy to produce. Why? Because I'm paying him the money. And I empower the coaches to make it happen. So yes, I do control the outcome of the situation. Yes, I do make sure that they craft up plays to CeeDee Lamb if he's my first and my number one draft pick out of 2020. I want him to produce. So that's why I'm paying this guy all of the money. So he got it wrong. But when Cole Beasley called him out or called the front office and said, yeah, they dictate what's going on. Yes, that's the truth. I dictate what's going on in my house. I make sure when I say, hey, them lights better be off when I get off of this podcast. When I go upstairs, guess what? The lights are off. If not, then they're going to hear my mouth. So that is the situation. That we don't have nobody with big cojones. They got baby cojones.
They got baby nuts.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Real quick, I did want to get some clarity out here because I did. I wanted to get some clarity out here on some little drama that kind of broke off in the fan base. I want to talk about it with my boy Mike Fish and Law. It was accidental. It was something that it wasn't even intentional. Because this go prove it right here. Check this out.
And let me say this. Let me say this because I'm reading the comments. There's no shade at Fish. Fish, of course,
he's doing his job.
He's doing his job.
Yeah,
it's the shade at the person that's talking.
The front office.
Fish
be
get
quiet.
paid by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, ain't nobody tripping on Fish. Do that, Fish. Get the story.
Get the story, that
helps us.
We like
because it just validates what we like your story because it validates what we saying.
Right, facts.
Right. So
facts
shout out to Fish for getting the story. But it's shame. Let me hit the shame on the doggone person with the loose lips, the diarrhea at the mouth.
Diarrhea,
Shame.
Shame.
I said, God dog.
Shame.
You turn on the water faucet. You turn on the water faucet, it's coming out.
All right, man. All right, so final words.
Yeah, that was last week. That was important. That was last week because you can clearly see that all of us never ever blame media people for the leaks that come through them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
None of us.
Because we understand.
We understand they got to get the story.
Yeah.
So, and I could tell y'all what happened. Can I be real? Can I be real?
Be
what
real.
Happened? This is what likely happened. What happened likely is there was likely somebody that was kissing up the fish. I guarantee it. A Littlefinger. If y'all not familiar with Game of Thrones, I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. It's always somebody that's trying to suck up. And what they'll do is they'll say, Law over there talking about you. And he didn't check because I checked all of it. I double checked even behind you. I looked at everything you said on this. Everything you said was above board. You said in all your articles, Cowboy sources, not the journalists, not the writers.
Right.
You said over and over in your video, Cowboy sources, not the writers, not Fish. Last week, we said all together, we not talking that Fish at all. We said, get the story, do your job.
Right.
None of us was tripping. So that's the only way that type of stuff happen, man. It's always people that got this little finger game where they create chaos. And what they trying to do, they create chaos, and what they try to do is they try to come up under that chaos. They want you and Fish to be on bad side. That's what they want, Law. You know what I mean? It's a game that's being played, and we ain't gonna fall for it. And I'm gonna tell you, let me be honest. I'm gonna say this first. It almost happened to me against Law. Can I be transparent, y'all?
Yeah, go ahead.
It almost happened to me. A Littlefinger came up to me and was like, hey, Law is stealing your content. So I said, what? And he sent it to me. And it was something that I created, and it looked like it had Law's logo on it, right? So then immediately this is a true story. I got the click.
Oh, I know it's true. I know it's true.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know it's true.
I got my whole squad and like we getting ready to go at Law.
Yeah.
The OC actually went at Law. I made one wise move that saved our relationship. Listen, because it would have been my fault. Listen, it would have been my fault. I called him. I called him. That's what saved it. I said, Law, bro, this is... And he said, what? Boss, I was giving you credit. That's my thumbnail that automatically happens. It looks like my logo was over your stuff. No, I was giving you credit.
Yeah.
And I looked at the video. I said,
I was giving that man all type of love and adulations. I remember that day.
He was giving me love. That's the same thing that just happened with Fish. We was showing him respect and love last week. And some Littlefinger, I guarantee, just like somebody did to me, versus Law. This is a true story.
Yep. Because
and this happens in the podcast community.
And because your
happens.
boy OC came, and you know I let him have it. I didn't know who he was because I said Charles, whatever his government. I said I let him get it a little bit. But then when you called, I was like, oh,
because that was the beginning.
Because that's what happened.
You know, so
this whole thing is a misunderstanding. I promise you. Cause Fish said on his video, which was funny, he said, I need to call him. Yeah, call him. And then you go see he had nothing to do with sullying your name. Some Littlefinger kiss butt, I guarantee you behind the scenes done went to him like, hey, he Law over here talking about you. And not one word in that video was even alluding to the journalists, not one.
But you know what, guys? I always take pride in the fact that I'm not a journalist. I'm not a beat writer. I'm not a media guy. I'm raw.
Right.
I'm raw. I'm uncut. I'm unfiltered. And I try to be this way so that I can be the voice. You know, a lot of people do this YouTube thing or social media thing for other reasons, but this is like therapy to me because for many years, man, it was no Cowboy fans in Mississippi, you know, in Natchez, little old Mississippi. So I jump on this thing. Y'all are all like family. So, but what happened over the course of the years, I've been doing this long enough. And what certain companies, I'm not pointing out companies, but they realized that you can make some money in this. And that's when I saw ESPN jump over, NFL Network. They start jumping over to YouTube, and and some media people start jumping over, and they brought the professionalism. But still, man, I'm getting it out of the mud. I didn't go to journalist school. You know, I graduated top of my class in econ. And, you know, I work a good job, a nice high-paying job, and a nice good situation for me. I think I did good for myself. But I look at this thing like this. It's like, look, let me be. I don't want to be censored. I don't want to have my mouth shut. I don't want to be this guy that sit here and say, I got to be following company lines. I can't talk about this person. Guess what? Big Game James and Boss Cowboy, I like it sometimes when I'm wrong. I don't want to be right all the time. I like it when my girl Sadiq would hit me up and say, hey, man, you need to do this. You need to do that. Or Toby, he'd shoot me a donation, say, hey, man, I love y'all, man. But, hey, man, you were wrong about this. Yes, so we can have a conversation about this. Yeah, so when I go out there to Oxnard, you can talk to me, and it won't be no, oh, he's high and mighty and all this type of stuff. You can't get no interaction with Stephen A. Smith, nor any of these guys or any of you guys that you guys kind of look up to in the media. They won't respond, but you can respond to us. We on the streets. That's what make our content valuable. But what people like to do is they like to say, okay, just because this person is validated or just because this person have connections and ties with this person, that they know more. No, that's not the case nor the scenario. Sometimes it's better to be on the low levels like we are, and you get the realness. You get the authentic version of what we know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I take pride in being independent, bro.
Yeah.
Man, being independent is the realest because I ain't got no fear of no repercussions based on what I say.
Right.
I ain't gotta be scared I'm gonna lose my job. I ain't got, you know what I mean? How many people, honestly, let's be all the way honest, big law. Let's be all the way honest. How many people have we interviewed that you could tell they were scared to say what they really wanted to say, dog?
So
let's be, we done interviewed so many people, bro. All of us.
Oh my God.
And some of us done told, let's keep it all the way real then.
And we keeping all the way funky. I mean, they come
done
on our
told us they
like,
scared.
They're like, we like coming over here because we can talk. They say it.
Yeah.
They said we like coming over here because we can talk how we want. Right. We ain't got to worry about somebody saying something because they can't say it on air. They cannot say what they really feel. And they can do some pushback for the media thing. Yeah. They allow them to pushback. But no, you ain't going crazy and you ain't going out of control and you ain't saying certain things. That's not going to happen. I can wake up and come on my channel and say, Baby Nuts Jones. That is my title of one of my thumbnails, and nobody can say anything. You feel me? I like that. I like being able to call you Baby Nuts, and I'm not going to stop calling you that. And I can call you whatever you want. And this is another thing, man, that's pissed me off.
It's my dog.
I got to get tired of people trying to tell me I got to change the team. I got to change my team. I don't have to change nothing. I get tired of when people say, go find another team. I don't have to find no other freaking team. I was here before the Joneses were. Okay, I know they paid money. I know they pay all that money, but I was a fan in them 70s, them 80s. I watched all them years. So I don't all of a sudden have to pick up and pack up my bags because the Joneses tearing it up. Okay, y'all had a 5-year run, bruh. Y'all had a 5-year run, and that was because there wasn't no free agency. If there was free agency, we don't even know if you would have got them chips. Let's keep it all the way real, because there wasn't no free agency, and you was able to keep them. So, yeah, you had them chips, but ain't nobody living off that no more. You feel me? Ain't nobody living off that, and I can hold the team accountable like anything else, because if I owned the team and I was the manager, I would expect people to hold me accountable. It would frustrate me if I was not winning. I would expect people to come at my neck. Because after 26 years and all the money that has went up in the Cowboys land, Cowboys haven't went down. They have went up. They have went up and up and up. They're the number one. So why can't fans say you're not doing enough? You're the number one organization out there, but you're not winning. That doesn't compute to me when you have one of the most richest organizations out there in professional sports and you're not winning.
Yup. And you're right about it. So what the media do is they will hear the lie and they'll act like, they didn't hear it. Meaning that when Jerry Jones said there's not a check that I wouldn't write to get back to the Super Bowl, somebody like you and I, Big AJ, bullsugar. You know what I'm saying? You might say the whole other
you
BS.
lying.
You know what I'm saying? You might say you're lying.
You lying,
Hey, dog, you
dog.
lying, dog. There's no salary cap when it comes to hiring coaches, and you still didn't put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. Jerry Jones would have been saying, hey, won't you get that dude right there? You need to get that dude right there.
Bro, they just be lying to us, man. Like I said, they just lying, bro. We have that faithfulness. I don't do this for the cash and all that. I do it because I love my team. I went to media school. I got other things that I want to do. Me and Boss have already talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, man, I love my team. I ride for my team. If I didn't like my team, I wouldn't even be getting mad. I wouldn't say anything. I'd just sit there and play the game, and everything's gonna be all right. And this is not this to nobody out there. This is me. When I see stuff like I seen out there, I can't be quiet. I can't just sit there and say everything is cool and I'm feeling good about this team and all that. No, I'm gonna say how I feel about it. I know it ain't, like I said, when I go off on my show, I tell everybody this ain't a popular message I preach or what I feel about the team, but I'm gonna say what I say. If you don't like it, I ain't being disrespectful. Don't come listen to it, because it's not gonna change if that's what I'm seeing. And it's been 26 years, folks. It's been 26 years of this, dog. And we've seen too much good talent come in and out of Dallas for all of us to say you ain't even been to a championship. There's been too much good talent that's come in and out of Dallas. And we're going to sit there and just say this is acceptable?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. And see, listen.
Yeah.
This is why I've been beating that drum on that system, bro. Because I don't want to beat the drum when it's too late.
Right.
I don't want to talk about Lael going to guard when it's too late.
Big
you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about it while we're in the fight. I don't want to talk about it after the fight. So before we start the season, yes, I know I've been hammering on that system.
Right.
But listen, I'm going to hammer on that system because I see it as the number one issue that's a threat to us winning 6. And how would I be loyal if I'm not calling out the stuff that's in our way with the facts and the data and all the tools that we use to showcase that we telling you the truth? This stuff that we do is handmade. Nobody make this stuff for us. We get in the lab ourselves. We research ourselves and we make it creative ourselves.
Right. Yeah, you right, boss. They don't see the unwatched hours.
We do this.
Yeah.
Like this is us.
Yeah.
What we make is with our hands. You know what I'm saying? What we put together is to win. Yeah.
And it's not cheap, man, for us to spend our resources to purchase a plane ticket to go all the way out there to Oxnard so that we can see for our own natural eyes what's really going on.
Right, our own eyes.
Yeah, and that was Big Game James, man. When the first time I got a chance
you remember we had that talk
when
we first talked. That's what we all talked about, Law. Me and you. We just said, look, we respect Brian Broaddus. I respect Dave Helvin. We talked to him. We had him on the show. I respect those guys. It's nothing but respect from them guys and what they do for the Dallas Cowboys for real. But I can't look through your eyes,
right?
Because I know the game too. So
Right.
I can't just look through your eyes and you tell me this offensive tackle is the greatest thing in the world. No, I want to look at it and say it myself. You feel me? And I can't just keep going on what people say. You feel me? And like I said, I'm gonna give Boss Cowboys 100% props because he's continued to give me even stronger convictions of some things that I want to do. And he told me, Go with what you know. Go trust your own self. Trust your own eyes.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people are scared.
Yep.
And they go after and they hear one person that's supposed to be the guy out there. And then they all latch onto it without themselves. And then I can't do that.
Yep. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. We also, J-Tuck, get bullied on Twitter.
Yeah.
Over Johnson.
Yeah.
Defensive end from Florida State.
Yeah.
We saw that bully in action where everybody was trying to force him to think like them.
Oh,
and he said the same thing. He was like, boss, because I told him that. I told him the same thing. I said, bro, listen, bro. Offseason, it's going to always be people trying to bully. You just got to say forget them and just rock with what you see. And look at them. Now people apologizing to him. It's a whole lot of reversing what was previously said. You know what I mean? So now we keep it real on this final word, man. And we going to continue to do that. And that's why people got to rock with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is, and that independence of what Law was talking about, that's the advantage. We got the advantage. We are the true voice of the Cowboys. Even if we not on the inside, we ain't got to be on the inside. It's just that our voice is pure. It's not tainted. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one thing we all know about our organization before we get out of here and get the final words. But I'm finna tell you something that's a fact.
I got a good final word.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, and I'm gonna read out
a lot
some
of haters in
some
these
of
streets,
y'all.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna read out some of y'all not cash out, but the donation that y'all gave because somebody said, "Can you read out the donation?" But go ahead, Big Game James.
No, donations first. Money first.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you could do the donations first. Yeah, get them out.
Asher, appreciate you. Young Wilson, thank you for the donation. Dallas, thank you for the donation. He just have the name Dallas. That's a cold name right there. Let me scroll all the way up.
That's
Chris,
my son name.
Appreciate you. Your son named Dallas. Appreciate that, man. That's good. That's a cold name
dope.
right there. Dallas Boss.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Chris, thank y'all, man. He said, Chris says, we better than ESPN. I appreciate you. Life's crazy.
Appreciate that.
For the donation of $1.99, he says, Bobby Wagner, F baby, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to him. Howard Floyd, he donated $20. He says, Law, Big Game James, Boss James. I think that's how he all put it down together. Do you think the Cowboys are more biased against favorite players that they drafted opposed to the players that they didn't? Yes. Toby Rory, appreciate you for the $2 donation as well. Toby! He said, Big Game and Law Nation, y'all check y'all donation questions when you can. That's with him. So shout out to you, Toby.
Appreciate you, Toby. Always a good person who's been faithful with it. But on the final words, I'm gonna just say this, not even on the Cowboy stuff, just continue to support us, man. You know, we don't mean no harm, y'all. We don't hate on no Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? We don't be trying to act like we know everything, but this is just what's on my heart right now. This will be a lot of people in the streets just be really coming at us, y'all. Y'all really just don't know. And this ain't nobody on here crying. Nobody's crying, no blues.
Nope.
Don't get it twisted. Nobody's crying, so don't come at me like that. Nobody's crying. But, you know, we get a lot of people in the streets be coming with the hate, dog. You know, we don't be trying to act like we insiders or anything like that. We definitely work, though. We know people, too. We go hard in the paint for y'all. We do. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Law with them videos daily and Boss Cowboys with them real videos. That's putting in work. And we ain't trying to throw out no stuff just for some likes and stuff, dog. I'm trying to tell you, dog. No, for real. It's coming out like sometimes I tell y'all when I just go live, sometimes something just be on my heart. And I'm like, I'm going live right now. I ain't trying to just. It's just in my heart. I gotta speak it. I can't wait 2-3 hours like I was gonna try to do. Set up the show. Nope. I'm just going live, and then it's just gonna happen the way it is, and I don't care. That's just what it be sometimes because that's the passion in there. So please continue to support us, man. Every way possible. We ain't just talking about financially, mentally. You know what I'm saying? Stay behind us. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe the lies that be out there in the streets, dog. Be a lot of lies out there in these streets, bro. You gotta. This is the real right here. This is the real, man. We got real love for the community. We got real love for the people. We got love for all of us, man. So please continue to support us like no other, man. It only makes us stronger, dog. And don't believe that hype out that you be hearing out there, dog. Law's a real one. Boss Cowboys a real one. OC a real one. You feel me what I'm saying? These guys, we formed a really good team. We got really, you know what I'm saying? We got love for each other. We got real good camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? And we put a lot of energy into this. We talk about this. You know, we may not talk all week, but we put a lot of stuff in this when we go live, man. We always want to bring some good stuff for you. And we got some good stuff for you tomorrow. Segue.
Oh, go for it. No, keep talking. Tell them.
I ain't gonna say the name yet.
Yeah.
But just make sure you up in here for the final word part 2 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We got a nice little interview coming for y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it might
nice
be a player. It might not. It might be a Hall of Famer. It might not. It might be somebody that might shock you. It might not. You know what I'm saying?
Just be ready for it tomorrow. We're going to have another good final word and be ready for it. We're going to have a good time with this, man.
That's what's up, man.
That's my final word.
That's my dog final word. Well, my final word is this. I'm still trying to remain optimistic on some things, even though this offseason has a terrible taste, right? There's a reason we have a terrible taste in our mouth. We have experienced receiver by committee after being lied to that it was Dak friendly. And the guy that came in and rescued that was Amari Cooper. Now we looking at potentially the guy that saved our season being thrown out. You know, so when we look at and try to connect those dots, it does look like we're headed towards a cliff. I understand the feeling. But there's also sometimes, every now and then, the timing can be perfect for the next guy to truly step up. So I want to continue to be a glass half full person, not a dumb optimist, but a realist. Because I've also done major research to know that usually going into year 3 is when most receivers that was discipled do take that next step to the number 1. If CD Lamb end up being that number 1, then let's be honest, the Joneses stood on their nuts and they was right and we was wrong. There is a possibility that could happen. I'm just fighting for 2 number 1s. Straight up, man. Because I know it makes this team better.
And not take a step back.
That's
what we want.
Yes, and I definitely go continue to fight receiver by committee. I got a video that's gonna come out tomorrow. Well, Romo, it's gonna shock people. It shocked me. My boy Renell sent me an article. I haven't done the video. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But Romo himself spoke about receiver by committee and a downside of it in 2018.
Oh wow!
And this is the saddest part. I'm teasing, but I'm telling the truth.
Ooh, you teasing.
No, I'm telling the truth. When I break this video, bro, Romo talked about it, and this is the saddest part. And I'm not lying, I'm not capping. It's my final word. It played out exactly what he predicted in 2021. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna finish this later. But bro, dog, I almost fell out my chair when I read it. Romo, he predicted to the T the full downfall of receiver by committee. That's my final word.
That was a good one there, man. Oh my gosh, man. Shout out to you, Landon Moore, and as well as Lamont and Hargrave. I really appreciate you, Marvin. Appreciate y'all, man, on the Facebook for the stars. And everybody who's shameless plug, man. Anybody who donated to, we be giving away Michael Irvin, the playmaker jersey at the end of the month, man. So I appreciate y'all. This is the thing. The final word is I agree. We need to have both wide receivers out there. But the Cowboys are going to be strapped for cash, and they're going to decide to get rid of Amari Cooper. So the fate will fall on Amari Cooper being gone to another team. So with all of the money that we save, I can only hope that whoever we bring in can come into this system and pick it up well enough so that CD Lamb can shine and Dalton Schultz can shine and we get on this run. This will be Kellen Moore's 4th season in the National Football League calling plays. So to be optimistic a little bit, hopefully the warts and the worries that we had last season, they are washed away and we become better by running the ball better. However we get this thing going, I think that Stephen Jones or somebody, I think it was either Stephen Jones or coach, said that they're going to battle out that position at right tackle, I believe. I could be misquoting those guys. If that's the case in the scenario, I believe Terrence Steele is going to win, because I think that Terrence Steele don't give up. I think that he's more of a workout warrior, just from my opinion, and I can't wait to see how this battle, if it's going to be a true one, I can't wait to see how this thing is going to work out for this off season, and I can't wait to see La'el Collins get pushed back inside and whoever we draft in the draft to work things out. So I'm optimistic that we're going to be better than what we were last year. That's my final word.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. I can't wait to see your video, man.
Man, I can't wait to drop it, big dog.
I'm going to go ahead and drop my video tonight, though. I'm going to drop a Noah Brown piece. A Noah Brown.
I see you be dropping them late night videos, bro. I might drop
he be doing the late night. He be doing them late night videos, 3 in the mornings, and he don't, they ain't even late night. They be early mornings.
Late night film session.
This another thing. Keeping it real. This another thing. Keeping it real. That boy Law don't sleep.
No, he don't.
Say, bro, I saw him like my video at 3 in the morning.
That mean you.
No, that's the truth, because he did that with a couple of mine. It be like he be just putting fire flames, and it be 5:07 in the morning.
I say, dog, Law
Where
don't
did you
sleep.
see that?
I'm watching
Like, where did you see
I'm
that?
watching Snowfall and watching your video at the same time, fam.
I be did my boy Law will pump out 8 videos. I be like, this the 8th
video. Y'all go ham. Y'all both go ham with them videos. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling like I'm lacking.
No, man, the Law be making me like, I be like, man, Law be keeping that pace.
Law be like, I gotta step up.
Man, yeah. But man, on the cool though, man. Now y'all look out for that video, bro.
Yeah, check out that video. It's coming tomorrow. I'm going to hit both of y'all guys up because I got to get off here now. But I'm going to hit you up, boss, early in the morning and give you the details.
Okay, yeah, we'll knock out that interview, big dog. We out.